In this video, we're going to talk about the inverse trig function. So flip your paper over. We're going to go to the bottom and write down our ratios again. So we know that so is our phrase for sine. So the sine of theta is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. Co is our phrase for the cosine. So cosine is equal to the adjacent over the hypotenuse. And then TOA is what we say for the tangent of theta, which is equal to the opposite over the adjacent side. If we look at number 15 here, you'll see that what we're looking for in this case is the angle. So when we are looking for an angle, we do the exact same thing like we've been doing, but we have to have one extra button on our calculator that we push. So if this is the angle I'm looking for, I'm going to do what I always do. I'm going to label the side opposite the 90-degree angle as the hypotenuse. This question mark is the angle that I'm looking for, so across from that is the opposite side, and this side over here is the adjacent. Well, now I have the opposite side and the hypotenuse, so I need to figure out what ratio I'm using. Well, opposite and hypotenuse, if you remember, is sine, opposite and hypotenuse. So I have the sine of my unknown angle x, and that's going to equal the opposite side over the hypotenuse. Now you'll notice we don't really have to solve for x because everything's set up for us. So all we have to do now is go to your calculators. We're going to use sine, but now we have to do the inverse. So you're going to hit second and then the sine button. So you'll see sine to the -1 here, and now we just enter 12 over 24. So my angle is 30 degrees. Now make sure you are in degree mode, which you should be from last time, but make sure you're in degree mode, and so my angle is 30 degrees. We'll do another one. Look at number 16 here. Across from my hypotenuse, across from my 90-degree angle is my hypotenuse. My angle is right here, so across from that is the opposite side, which means that 13 is the adjacent side. Well, this time I have the adjacent side and the hypotenuse, so the ratio that I'm going to use is cosine, because cosine is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. So cosine of x equals the adjacent over the hypotenuse. So again, I'm going to go to my calculator, hit second cosine, so the inverse pops up, and then type in 13 over 20, and my angle is going to be 49.5 degrees. We will round to one decimal again. So x equals 49.5 degrees. We'll do a couple more. If we look at number 19 here, we have to label across from our 90 is our hypotenuse. My angle is down here, so across from that is the opposite side, which means 48 is the adjacent. Now you'll notice in this triangle we have all three sides. Well, that means that I can pick whatever I want. So I'm going to pick the adjacent side and the opposite side. Well, adjacent and opposite is the tangent ratio, so I have the tangent of x, which equals the opposite side, which is 14, over the adjacent, which is 48. So again, go to your calculator, second tangent this time, and then we have 14 over 48. So my angle is 16.3 degrees. Now you don't have to use these two numbers if you don't want to. You can use something different and you will get the exact same answer. We'll do one more. Let's flip it over and pick one on the front. You don't have to do 1 through 8. So just start at number 9 here, and we'll just pick number 9. Across from our 90-degree angle is our hypotenuse. Across from the angle itself is the opposite side, which means this 38 down here is the adjacent side. Now I know the adjacent and the opposite. Well, adjacent and opposite is the tangent ratio. So I have tangent of my angle equals opposite, which is 27, over adjacent, which is 38. Again, I'll put that in my calculator. Second tangent of 27 over 38 means my angle is 35.4 degrees. So x equals 35.4 degrees. So I want you guys to try the rest of the problems. Start at number 9 here and go to the back side to number 24.